Greetings, we're there with you. Things in Time Cultural Expression. Classroom this evening. We are going straight into the high school this evening. Yes. High school. Mind yourself.
Today can be gladness, mister. You don't know. Tomorrow can be sadness, sister. You don't know. What makes the world go round, round and round? You never know. You don't know. So save a bread, mister. Save it for the future. Save a bread, sister. Cause things will be better. You know not the minute nor the hour man shall come. You know not the minute nor the hour. The time is now. What you know, you know. What you don't know, you don't know. The greatest thing is to know. What you don't know, you don't know. Lego this one.
Non-stopping, hot rockin', back-to-back music, the hits just keep coming.
Read them up!
Today can be gladness, mister. You don't know. Tomorrow can be sadness, sister. You don't know. What makes the world go round, round and round? You never know. You don't know. So save a bread, mister. Save it for the future. Save a bread, sister. Cause things will be better. You know not the minute nor the hour man shall come. You know not the minute nor the hour. The time is now. What you know, you know. What you don't know, you don't know. The greatest thing is to know. What you don't know, you don't know. Anywhere you go. What you don't know, you don't know. Can be gladness, mister. You don't know. Tomorrow can be sadness, sister. You don't know. What makes the world go round, round and round? You will never know. You don't know. To save a bread, mister. Save it for the future. Save a bread, sister. Cause things will be better. You know not the minute nor the hour man shall come. You know not the minute nor the hour. The time is now. What you know, you know. What you don't know, you don't know. The greatest thing is to know. And what you don't know, you don't know. Anywhere you go. What you don't know, you don't know.
Greetings again, evening. Yes, sir. A record, man. Yes, we are going something. this evening we want to look at why are we being treated. We want to analyze the fact that the hostility towards us by law enforcement officers in America and in England, in Australia and New Zealand, throughout Europe, it goes back to 7 months ago when I was saying that from the first minute the people them take eyes upon we, them deem we to be savages and such like in the 21st century. We are the ones that continue to be brutalized. Hostility and the arrogance of racism has been inflicted upon us from that time till this time. And we don't cry tough. Why don't we deal with the legality of the situation? Why ain't the Commonwealth, citizenship, human rights, legislation representing the children of the slaves in the diaspora? Question after question after question. The brutality of the police is unacceptable. And we know that. And now we have a change of the guard again by default. Racial hostility intensifies stop and search. Watch it. It's an institutional behavior. Check the patterns. I've not yet seen a Caucasian being ill-treated, being brutalized by law enforcement officers, even being shot. I've not yet seen it. So you see there's a disparity, seriously. Is it ethnic? We also want to bring Al-Haji Melik Al-Shabazz to the stand. It could never be forgotten, so we're bringing him to the stand. So the theme, again, is reflection of what it means to be an African Caribbean in the diaspora. On Friday, we had wife disturbances, but you know what I mean? It's called emotional. You understand? Because you know who the boss is. The boss is the wife. You understand? So nobody have a twist, nothing around here. Right. So we apologize for that. And that's the only apology because I'm not Paul. I don't even know who that is. I use the word. What's the new education? Listen.
This is the new education, promoting liberation, rejecting them illusion. Rastafari are the keepers of tradition. This is the new education, promoting liberation, rejecting them illusion. Rastafari are the keepers of tradition. My art, our principles, guiding I and I in a spiritual development, the good over evil. Only truth that will lead to our freedom. African moral resurrection, moving forward to redemption. Spiritual, physical, and mental. That's the way we are gonna honor the ancestors. This is the new education, promoting liberation, rejecting them illusion. Rastafari are the keepers of tradition.
A Zion Eye production.
This is the new education, promoting liberation.
It's an English thing.
Rejecting them
London.
illusion.
Big up.
Rastafari are the keepers of tradition. His Majesty promoted our progress. Him words touched the heart of Rastaman and Empress. Now we give to Ethiopia our faithfulness. We have found our motherland, we are no homeless. When we say the new education, I and I bring back the ancient civilization. The elders already set up the foundation. No, this is the new education.
Zion Eye Productions.
Promoting
Yeah.
liberation, rejecting them illusion. Rastafari are the keepers of tradition. This is the new education, promoting liberation, rejecting them illusion. Rastafari are the keepers of tradition. Yeah, no, good over evil. Yeah, no, this valley of decision. Yeah, no, this is the new education, promoting liberation, rejecting them illusion. Rastafari are the keepers of tradition.
Listen. Yeah, man.
Couldn't that a them testimony? See them a testimony. Lord, them a testimony.
Green Machine.
Yo, reducing poverty, that's their stated goal. What they demand left us in a deep hole. Nations strive and borrow, can't pay back. What a big sorrow. So see they them a testimony. Lord, 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 Babylon a testimony. See they them a testimony. Babylon a testimony. Lord, Lord, Lord. Yo, invest in many millions, it sure seem kind. All resource and the wealth and the land is on your mind. Never see, come see fi gold and Nile, them use the same old policy. Rule and device get harder when it come to pay back time. Everybody sacrifice 9 to 5. Things get harder, yet still them not downsize. Them kill we in the taxes, then how we go survive. Them a testimony. Babylon a testimony. Hey. Yo, say them a testimony. Babylon a testimony. See them a testimony. Hey. This a no coincidence, it's an irony. They concentrating on ways to reduce poverty. Me not laugh when me sing. To protect public health, them dash disease power. Spending many millions for artillery. Numerous casualties the war bring. Gaddafi gets surrounded by the army. Watch out Mugabe, 'cause them a testimony. Them a testimony. Babylon a testimony. See them a testimony. Ooh, Babylon a testimony.
Light Brown, Zionite Kings and Zionite Productions proudly present an highly full reunion. Hear this, tell them Light Brown, tell them. You need to overstand, I am the man with the plan, with the mic in me and I am a musical warrior. Buckler and me shield, lyrics in my magazine to wipe them out clean. I'm a musical warrior. No matter how you bad mind me and criticize me, I am a musical warrior. Strap up my boots and trample bad minded, 'cause I'm a musical warrior. Light Brown and Zionite in combination. London, Florida, VI creation. Jade, you a dub boy smaddy. Pick up Red Moon and a Brother Tippe. Keeping it to Rootica.
Yeah, man, of the roots once again. Rockers reggae music.
Yes, we're ready. Creation rebel, we defend it. The King's music, we are defending. You need to overstand, I am the man with the plan, with the mic in me, and I am a musical warrior. Buckler and me shield, lyrics in my magazine to wipe them out clean. I'm a musical warrior. No matter how you bad mind me,
Yeah, man, of the roots once again. Rockers reggae music.
I am a musical warrior. Strap up my boots and trample bad minded, 'cause I'm a musical warrior. Congo drum from a civilization as a method of a communication. Reggae, I feel me translation. One love, black, brown, or Caucasian, keeping it article. Well, I'm ready, steady, on the battlefield, yes, we're ready. Creation rebel, we defend it. Me right and left, tenant, we defend it. You need to overstand, I am the man with the plan, with the mic in me, and I am a musical warrior. Buckler and me shield, lyrics in my magazine to wipe them out clean. I'm a musical warrior. No matter how you bad mind me and criticize me, I am a musical warrior. Strap up my boots and trample bad minded, 'cause I'm a musical warrior. Music on me gun and me go and brutalize them. Truth and rights, yes, me go and vaporize them. Slice them and liquidize them. Burn out the wicked, yeah, burn out the wicked. Keeping it to Rootica. Well, I'm ready, steady, on the battlefield, yes, we're ready.
Yeah, man, of the roots once again. Rockers reggae music.
The King's music, we are defending. You need to overstand, I am the man with the plan, with the mic in me, and I am a musical warrior. Buckler and me shield, lyrics in my magazine to wipe them out clean. I'm a musical warrior. No matter how you bad mind me and criticize. It's a terrible, terrible time. Terrible time, boy.
I'm uncomfortable when the youths them a suffer. Enough of them a sleep tonight and don't got no supper. Mama and Panaja and get.
Seeing that we defend as parents and a responsible people, we are uncomfortable, definitely. You understand? With all the madness and all the stabbings and shootings and things that are taking place right here, round about we. There's no way that anyone can be, that is African origin, can be comfortable. No way. And even if it wasn't hurting, it's human life. But first things first, we have to value for ourselves. Most importantly. So there's no way that me and my family we can just play record music and go up the charts or whatever and be so disconnected from our people. It's not possible. Because you're there with the people to listen. And you're there with the people them to earn the money. Eh? What's that? Robbery? No, man. The intelligence we work with. And we work with our soul. And also we work with what we call it, your spirituality. That's who we soul that. And we have memorance. You understand? Our faculties have memorance. And those memorance, our remembrance, is for we parents, we grandparents, all the way through. So we cannot neglect just because of 2 records. No. You understand? Watch it.
It's a terrible, terrible time.
Listen to the lyrics, the content, man. And women, families.
I'm uncomfortable when the youths them a suffer. Enough of them a sleep tonight and don't got no supper. Mama and Panaja and gaze through the window shut up. Little where she have it can't even buy butter. Uncomfortable when the youths them a suffer. Enough of them a sleep tonight and don't got no supper. Mama and Panaja and gaze through the window shut up. Protect the youths that in the gutters. It's a heavy load on a raggy road. Babylon bringing the guns and everybody know. Creating all the war, the youths them had enough. Watch how the fire blaze anonymous. Hey, think I lie, well then go take a walk down there. Me no see no gun factory down there. But every day a gunshot sound there. Bad man take over the town. Hey, I'm uncomfortable when the youths them a suffer. Enough of them a sleep tonight and don't got no supper. Mama and Panaja a gaze through the window shutter. Nickel where she have it can't even buy butter. I'm uncomfortable when the youths them a suffer. Enough of them a sleep tonight and don't got no supper. Mama and Panaja a gaze through the window shutter. Protect the youths them from the blooders. Cause and effect, talk to me direct. You little Babylonians don't have no respect. You plan to bomb the population and so do that. I see you tamper with the weather, you little pest. The warriors now go take prisoners as judgment. I just alone give with the powers and no strength. Me send the one you share to the Sarge and the sheriff. Them and them corruption now go perish. Aye. Uncomfortable when the youth them a suffer. Enough of them a sleep tonight and don't got no supper. Mama and Panaja a gaze through the window shutter. Little where she have it can't even buy butter. I'm uncomfortable when the youth them a suffer. Enough of them a sleep tonight and don't got no supper. Mama and Panaja a gaze through the window shutter. Yeah. It's a heavy load.
Yo, see when we play the music, click your box, you know. Click your filter. Yeah. I know see a good sound system this.
Think I lie, well then go take a walk down there. Me no see no gun factory down there. But every day a gunshot sound there. Bad man take over the town. Hey, I'm uncomfortable when the youths them a suffer. Enough of them a sleep tonight and don't got no supper. Mama and Panaja a gaze through the window shutter. Nickel where she have it can't even buy butter. I'm uncomfortable when the youths them a suffer. Enough of them a sleep tonight and don't got no supper. Mama and Panaja a gaze through the window shutter. Protect the youths them from the gutters.
These are perilous times. These are the kind of things that we have to go through, or we are going through on a day by day, week by week basis. You understand? Not even a year by year, you know. Because it is here and through the Caribbean. Now down in the islands, them are bigger things. Why? Because it's big time drug hustling, drug smuggling. And I know we, you know. But it's we who are fire shot, it's we who are get shot. Where the guns them come from? Where the ammunition them come from? Where the drugs them come from? Period. How is it? How is it that we've been seduced? How is it that we've been used? Is it a stage? It's by design. It's by design. Anyway, my sisters, we have to give praises unto you all. See? Continually. Me miss you know. Yeah, we're there again. Yeah, man. We miss you know.
Just because I not come at your yard.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, of the roots once again. Rockers reggae music.
Now sing any kind of songs you want me to sing. I go say yes when yes means no. And if I fail in your society, there's a place somewhere for me. And God forbid if you don't like me, no. I know there's a place somewhere for me. Yeah. Not because where I live right now is in shambles. Deep in my heart I live very humble. 10,000 bad men around you and you're living in fear. I don't have no army and I don't care, no. But if I in your society, there's a place somewhere for me. God forbid, because you don't like me, no. I know a place somewhere for me. Bad man, a bad man, bad man, a bad musician, a musician, a musician. Bad minded people, red eye. But musician, a musician, a musician. Play a song. I said not because where I live right now is in shambles. But about a deep in I
Yeah, just work with me.
I live humble, yes.
We do it different bout here.
10,000 bad
Round here.
man living around you and you're living in fear. I know I have no army and I don't care. Hey, and if I feel living in your society, yeah, God forbid, because you don't like me, no. I know there's a place for me. You can call anybody you want and tell them to play my songs. I know, yeah. And tell them whatever
Yeah,
you
man.
put down.
Miss me lady. See? See, you want me have to tell her now, right? Me I tell her now, come back to bed. Watch it. And a joke. Serious thing.
Sweet dreams, she was holding me tight.
Hey, when I must know boy now, you want to check me out. See? Cause this is for my favorite rhythm track. My boy holding it right like that. See? Yes, principal. Low.
Sweet dreams, she was holding me tight.
You know me like though? I love set the stage. See? Cause I do my thing different. See? We are set the stage. You see me say come back to bed, someone will not think, oh go on. You understand? You love your wife. What? Express yourself.
Sweet dreams.
Are your wife?
She was holding me tight.
Even your partner, once you get in love with her and you respect her. Bonafide. Listen to the lyrics.
Excuse me, miss, may I give you a little compliment?
Yes.
Out of all the ladies around, you took away the night.
No skylarking.
Meeting you here right now is no coincidence.
True.
Some things are real and sure as the sunlight.
Things in time, cultural expression.
What if I told you you were there?
One
in
session.
My dream last night, we were making sweet love, and all the feeling was right. So right. But in the midst of love making, somebody came knocking my door.
Dreaming.
Somebody came and spoiled my fun as I was about to come back to bed. Never had a dream so sweet.
Sweet.
We were kissing, we were touching, we were loving everywhere. I wanted just to stay in there. In there. I like the way you held me tight. What a feeling, what a joy, running through my body, 'cause everything was going right. So would you like to know what you were doing in my bed?
Dreaming.
I hope and I pray that you're the bad girl in my head. As I dreamed about you.
Yeah.
A man shouldn't kiss and tell, and I believe in that as well. I just had to tell you about it. There's no easy way around it. What if I told you, my baby, my wildest of dreams come true? And I know I can tell, I can feel it for sure. Gotta be real between me and you. Never had a dream so sweet. Wanna make it the real deal. We were kissing, we were touching, we were loving everywhere. I wanted just to stay in there. In there. I like the way you held me tight. What a feeling, what a joy, running through my body, 'cause everything was going right.
Sweet. Dreaming, man, dreaming. No skylarking.
Come back to bed. Never had a dream so sweet. We were kissing, we were touching, we were loving everywhere. I wanted just to stay in there. I like the way you held me tight. What a feeling, what a joy, running through my body, 'cause everything was going right. Back to bed. Oh yeah. Never had a dream so sweet. Never had a dream. We were kissing, we were touching, we were loving everywhere. I wanted just to stay in there. I like the way you held me tight.
See,
What a feeling, what a joy, running through my body, 'cause everything was going right. Back to bed. Come back. Never had a dream so sweet.
sweet. So we can reminisce. Favorite artist, why me I grow? Yeah, yeah. Younger Dennis Brown, Emmanuel.
I've been watching you alright. I don't know why. I think
You see what we do? We can't disrespect and dishonor and undermine and undervalue our mothers, our females, our wives, our girl children. You understand me? We have to respect them, honor them, treat them lovely. Because if we not do that, who else is gonna do that? We don't want those people who come and disrespect. You see? And people that come and undress them. See? You have to just stand still and refine yourself. We are going to chat about that a little more because our culture, someone to come and strip it. No, we don't want that. See? Cultural expression, things and times we're there in one. Dennis Emmanuel, it's the Brown. A culture we deal with. Reality, truth and rights. Our African black man thing we defend. Our black people thing we defend. And we represent. Now change. Dennis Emmanuel, it's the Brown. And that's not his name, you know. A European. Dennis Emmanuel Brown. You know what I'm saying? When I say it's not his name, you know, the names we carry are enough for his name. Saying, what may rewind it for? Enough for his name. Liberate them, Dennis. Things in time, culture expression with their rapping one. Liberate them.
I'm sure my days will be long and my nights won't be few. Through the visions that's in me, I can see clearly.
Black understanding.
Where there is gonna be peace, love and harmony, black understanding among my people. Oh yes, among my people. They're gonna jump and shout, black liberation, yeah.
Yes. It's a special request, really, you know, but we have to advertise the thing still, because we have liberation movement that take place, and the first of whatever I them are called Messiah, you see? And the first of Messiah, which means August, we not work with it. So that they take place, or the gathering will be in Brixton, Windrush. Another thing that take place again, Windrush Square. See? Yeah, African families, liberation. No, man. We have to just come together. See? United we stand, divided we fall. Yeah. You see, when you work, when you go freelance now, you have opportunity, you know. So we have to get we researchers out there and get some of the information and get it on wheel, you understand? So it's a media thing, so we can just click it and make the advert just work. You understand? So I have to publicize myself. You see? We there, you know. Someone must acknowledge we. You understand? We independent up there. See? Up there. We are work with the areas them, because we're not in the community yet.
I'm sure my days will be long and my nights won't be few.
Seen?
Through the visions that's in me, I can see clearly.
One means one and one make two, and two make three, and three make four. You understand? Watch and see how we grow. Locally and internationally, we're going to grow. Trust. Don't be stubborn. Pass the link. And that is us. I tell you.
Men and people will try to cut it down.
Seen?
Trying their very best to rearrange you.
Seen?
But no matter what they do, they won't conquer you, no matter what they do.
Spiritually, no.
Oh no, we're gonna free our brother. We're gonna free our brother. We're gonna help our brother. We're gonna love our sister.
See?
Then we're gonna jump and shout black.
And we can't change. We're going to leave that for later now, because I have too much inside there for talk about me. I tell you. See them words are profound. When I skip through them, it's not by chance, or so we grow. Freddie.
Yeah.
It could have been worse.
Cheer up, my people.
Cheer.
up. It could be worse.
Yeah, man, of the roots once again. Rockers reggae music.
Don't give it up. It could be worse. Hang on, my brothers. Even though life is tough, it could be worse. Much worse than it is. Just look around you, eh? What you say and what you do. Think positive and you must get through. Two roads before you. Which one will be your choice? The straight and narrow, the other one. Think twice, you've got to be wise. Life is no easy street. Sometimes we all got to feel the heat, but where there's a will, there is a way. So we gotta hang on in there. It could be worse. Cheer up, my sisters. Don't give up. It could be worse. Hang on, my brothers. Even though life is tough, it could be worse. Much worse than it is. Just look around you. Hey, watch what you say and watch what you do. Think positive and you must go through. There's others worse than you.
See? True. It's always, it's how life go. It's always someone worse off than us. And you are you and I. See? But what is most important is when you acknowledge yourself and those around you are round about you. And then as far as your eyes can see, north, east, west, and south, and you embrace that. You see? Humble yourself and embrace that. Then you know you have a reason for living and a reason for activating yourself. Because you're not there by yourself. You see? And so we stay. So things could be worse. But they could get better and better. Because what? We trust in the Almighty. You see? And that Almighty, for me, is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When I do when I work, when I'm man thing, you know what I'm saying? The Almighty, the Unseen, the Unforgiving, Most Merciful. Yes. Lucci. Man called Luciano.
From the beginning to the forever. Growing with God's imagination extends upon these realms of meditation. The power, the glory, the celestial feeling, the rhythm, the timing, the grace, the bliss. We come together to realize the fullness of creation, being a part of everything. We also play a role as children of the universe.
When I come out here to become famous as no DJ, we are selectors out here long time before this. See? Listen, Luciano. Don't bother call me.
27 chambers of the Bingy Temple. That's the man sit down in a time for anger. Singing in my hammer, cry the old one a tremble. That's the man they are people got me a pray. Up in the hills where the rivers run through. But it and John that's swimming down in the pool.
Mighty Luciano, listen. We went to school, we're not fool about here.
Sing it up and arise. Go down to Nineveh and open the eye. Everybody sing the rhythm is the sky in the skies. Sing it on my life, my people, and get wise. I grab my guitar and my carbon and band. I put your curve and me ready to try.
Click your box. And I tell you, man, a sound system this, you know.
I swear I'm gonna stop the sound of devil tonight.
But I'm not that we defend.
Come on, man, time to final call. I am coming. Final call. Last man tried to final call. I'm calling here. King Selassie, I don't have about judgment. Down the Eden and the backbiters will go down in the sinking sea. I know now what I didn't know then, so I'm calling my friend. Rise and let your light shine before me. Final call, the children of Israel. Final call, I'm calling. 37 chambers of the Bingy Temple. Seal the Trinity to the 7th disciple. Rocking in my mouth while the whole world I tremble. Sing the sleepless song to my Peter and Pepper. Final call, oh, children of Israel. Final call, I'm calling. Final call, children of Israel. Final call.
Scene final. Check it.
Before you stand hungry, well, hey, hey, hey.
steadily, why, boy. The bogus them hungry, steadily, why, boy. Yeah. Steadily, why, boy. We got to use them hungry.
Yeah, you see all this now? We try get a white flag for the other man them. See? Extend yourself. For what? Yeah, joke, man. Apologies don't work. Them thing there for little babies. I mean, not a follower of Paul, nor Saul. Any of them. You know, any of that. You understand? I mean, me humble. So me don't have to walk in Black Boat Jungle. It's a serious thing. You understand? Me not drink spilt milk. And by the way, me don't even drink milk to rot it. I'm a juice man. I made her suck my mama breast. When me this small, she tell me. You understand? So me never come up with no cow milk. Yeah. Settle yourself, best. What happened to you? Emotional. Luciana. Hey, when Boone them had sound system, when Tipo Two are working, you know, and Luciana just are coming, you know. And them youth there, them man, they boss him, you know. Sean Rankin, Roddy Boone, Ochi Peng, Super Dan. See? Them are selectors. You understand? Sean was just the rider. But Roddy Boone, Super Dan, and Ochi Peng, you understand? To Richie Davis, we boss him. All them other song can talk. But them man, they boss Luciana. And they might help Black or Dread boss Frankie Paul. May I tell you. So rest on yourself. I go and say, apology. No, man. You can put all kind of thing out there for the church. Don't put nothing on Facebook. Thinks you best respond. And me respond now. And that's all me I go do. You see? I'm contented. Yes, man. Luciana. What are you talking about? Kick it. I'm not ungrateful. I am very grateful. Chat about Luciana. Watch how the heritage work this. See? Combination. Keep talking.
What this little man has got to say.
Yeah, principle.
Just the time is done for us to open a year.
Social education is a must. Yeah.
Only Jack can lead the way. Yeah.
Heritage.
Want to hear what I say?
Luciana featuring Morgan Heritage. Listen.
Talking about China. I'm singing about China. Talking about street China.
Talk about.
Some will seek the world to find a true peace of mind. Big house, big car, and a golden mine. But I know the love is way down deep within my mind.
Deep down inside. Talking.
Mine is for everyone to find.
True.
Love is the fuel that lifts you up above. Try to find the way into the mastermind. You gotta get
Jah love.
All I'm saying is I'm talking about
Talking about sweet Jah love. Singing about Jah love. Listen, take this out. Love is the fuel, love is the spirit, love is the power that make you can do it. That is the power, that is the spirit. Great I am, the over is ready. That's the power live it. You know the man from Nazareth. I and I talking about God, that's not secret. Down on your knees and pray.
See, we get white flag for the eye. I we appreciate that and treat her like a little child. Trust me. Yeah, life teaches us to make good use of time, while time teaches us the value of life. You see? A big thing that, very big and deep. So you responsible parents or sperm donors, concentrate and speak to your children. Don't bother sit and watch television and think say you participate or you're engaging with your children. Or you watch EastEnders, same thing, television. You understand? Or football, you're not engaging with the children. Or every 1 or 2 times, you take them a shop and buy some trainers. You're not engaging. Nah. You come like Father Christmas. You see? But you run gifts and wrappers. That not work. You understand me? You have to learn something different. Now, when we say that now, you have to understand something. The children are slaves. We not come up with no foundation. We slip through. And the best of us come through grandparents. So we get an education about moral values and principles. We get an education of towards common courtesy. We get an education, especially our girl children, on what it means to be a mother. Yeah. Not just kitchen. You see, when the people them want to talk to social worker and welfare worker, them just talk about kitchen. Them just talk about kitchen. Instead of just saying, listen, it was explained to me that I'm going to be a lady. But before me get to be a lady, I'm going to be a young woman. And there's certain things that's going to happen to me. You see? And I have to be, and now I have to be prepared for that. I wasn't taught to cook. I was taught how to accept my body being changing. And how to respect it as I grow. Yeah. So you see, when a people or a group or a person did not get those refinement, it is the type of decadence that we can see around with. And when you think about music and you think about bashment and you think about wetty and all these things, someone is preying on the mishaps that is in our loin, is in our midst. And they're able to influence some decadence for the benefit of their pedophilic behavior and then the lust for money. One to our wise people, one to our pastor, one to our affluent scholars. Where are they? When they take time out, at the same place them go and get their cheap thrills. And a lie. It's not lying. You well know that that's what you all do. Can't help yourselves. You see? And when judgment come, is where I go run. Think say I go get away with it all the time. And then they go turn around and blame Christ for this and Christ for that. Christ never teach you that. You see? If the person you refer to as Jesus taught you those things, then that's a different thing. But Christ never teach you that. There's no teaching of Christ that tell you that playing amusement is most essential. No. And unfortunately, you just have a few words, not even an A4 paper represents the individual I'm speaking of, called Christ. So, albeit you want to be followers of someone that you say is called Jesus, it's very confusing. And we amuse ourselves with these type of confusement, illusions. But you can pick apart the Quran. You can. Try it. That's all I'm saying. You know? But when you hear the joke and hear the shout, we've been here before. We've been here before. And in this condition that we find ourselves within, in the United Kingdom, the children of immigration, with the children of the slaves and children of immigration to Great Britain. You see, I use the word, Great Britain. You see? And we've come of age and see the people them disrespect and disregarded our parents after they've done such a marvelous work for them. And we have been brutalized, their children, us, by the system that we help, that our parents help restore, build, and hold up from the transport, all the transport, the post office system, the medical system. We do that. Even the BP or Shell oil wells, North Sea and land base. And we do that. The reason I'm saying all of this is to now know or see, and I've been recognizing for years, that there's been no form of decency being given to the children of slaves and the children of immigration, of immigrants that came here, requested and handpicked to come here and help rebuild this nation called Great Britain. Those parents, those people, their children, and now their children, their grandchildren, is being brutalized, traumatized by an institution within the state called law enforcement officers, called police, called home office. Never been treated with dignity, no form of respect. At all. And there's no one crying tough on our behalf. Whether it's Labour, Liberal, or Conservative. But then there's a people that shouts out racism. But through them have institution, them have office, they have individuals, they have staff, that monitors behavior tendencies. As soon as something appears to be alarming to them or threatening to them, they know where to demonstrate, where to highlight. So one party is being ostracized and stripped apart. So right now, or even last year, if there was to be an election, then weaken them. Because an individual has his own mind and him have friends that are Palestinian. But I must remind you all something. How much people them from the three parties had any friend from the ANC? None of them. The ANC was a terrorist operational group. That's how the media portrayed the ANC. The struggles in South Africa, it was apartheid for us. But for them, no. So the ANC was a struggle. So you have to reflect, black people, and find out how come the same Caucasian that was kicking us in our faces and kicking the South Africans in their faces and abusing them across the world through their media organizations to be such a group or people, then to somehow portray that they had such an affinity for Nelson Mandela. But then they ostracized Winnie, his wife. You need to look, black people, seriously. Take our heads from inside of our asses and pay attention to what the man did to us. And no South Africans stand trial for any murders, for any crime against humanity, which is against us. You see that word, they put it right there? What you got was a person from the fraternity called the clergy fraternity to tell us, to tell the world that there will have a committee of reconciliation. And that's all that happened. Bishop Tutu and some individuals from Chatham House and some other house here in England that set. And that's all that happened. Turn the other cheek, oh Africans, that's it. Theological studies and a clergy that made us all relax. But yet still, they were abusing presidents and others on the continent and acclaimed them to be corrupt. Yes. And those who were their puppets, they dragged them across to the Hague World Court. But no South African police, soldiers, civilians, of all the atrocities and all those years and all the lives that were taken, and now we have these individuals, young people in America that want to read that book and tell us that that book is from God and God prophesied what was to happen to us, black people. You see, the whole thing is God not like black people, you know. The God they speak of. I mean, we became black through a curse. You know, Ham, Sham, and Japhet, this little Hollywood movie. But I don't want to stray. The point I'm making is that they don't treat us as human beings. They don't see us as civilized man, humans. We were just cattle as far as they're concerned. That's why slavery was there. And after slavery, they never say, well, let me just take these people back from whence we took them. Them just left with there. Around them, around about them. Says either we roll up and dead, or we survive, to which we have survived. What we haven't had in all these decades is not a pastor, but a shepherd to say that the Almighty is with us because we have survived. We have learnt a new tongue, and we have learnt a method of surviving in a cool environment as well as in the heat. Less resources to what we're accustomed to at home, but we also survive in the European region, in Europe, in that region. Cool. We weren't given anything. So we must look at it that we have survived through to the power of the Almighty and our ancestors. And we've learned their languages. And with all the hatred and animosity, we've been able to educate ourselves among them. All the hate and the despair. And in America, all the lynching, brutalizing, tormenting, castrating, and killing. And where you going to run to? And we still there. So why is it so easy for us not to remember, but to join forces with the opposition and blame God for all the atrocities that did happen to us, continues to happen to us, and now we want to tell our grandchildren, or our parents' grandchildren, that I saw things stay. When the people them don't have us and continue to see us as savages. Because they don't treat their dogs, even their foxes, like how them treat we. And they can go to court and say that we were not cordial. We did not do as we were instructed to do. So the statute says that they should do X, Z, and Y to us. Some of you need to go to the courts them and listen to how officers or how the Metropolitan represents themselves. Them gone past just saying grievously body harm. They explain that under Section D, why, where, this is what was expected of them because we infringe on these codes. What is that? Are people saying that our characteristics, our mannerisms, our behavior is such that it infringes on their well-being? And whether we touch them or not, them feel threatened. So grievously body harm, which was used in the 60s, 70s, 80s, is not the litmus test anymore. But if an officer or officers do show themselves to have a wound or their skin seems to have been bruised or miscolored, gosh man, you're adding 9 months to whatever they're going to charge you with. Because now it's an affray. You are resisting. Sometimes I can't understand how 5 people and the one can resist. And we have many of the ones them finish up dead. The people them see us as savages. Them see us as brutal. Them see us as vicious like some of these dogs them have. But they don't treat them dog bad, you know. They don't even kick or lift them foot after their dog. And them think twice about using these tranquilizer gun on for them dog. Damn. So a savage in the English translation is what them classify as a primitive set of people or person. Primitive. And in their eyes, primitive is not them. They're always being civilized. Everything other than them is primitive. Everything other than them is savage and so forth, and barbaric and hooligans. Are the Englishman that, you know? I saw him write things. I saw him classify them too. And watch us jackasses that's been here a long time, being educated here as well, not in the theological education, in the education, which is the theological school, said speed. But we behave like we have no understanding of his language. And we have no understanding of his dictionary. We don't have any understanding of the words or the implications of the words that they use. Why is that? Why is that? Why are we so dumb? And yet still we want to change. And I'm telling you, the best change is to divorce yourself. Simple. Work with yourself. 100%. Develop trust and cooperation within ourselves. Don't look out or look beyond ourselves. Anyone who's trying to figure it out and say, nah, there's just a lot of low talking. Everything that we do as a people, all across the diaspora, as teams, we operate for other people. Again, Mr. Best, what you say? As teams, we operate for other people. We cooperate for other people. As teams. There's no teams in this world that you don't see black African people working and performing at the highest level team. But when it comes to us, we disintegrate. When it comes for team, for the white man, wow, you can't find no better performers. Whether it's in singing, whether it's in drama, whether it's in the movie, whether it's basketball, whether it's football, any teams, and it's cricket, we cooperate. We elevate team to a level in terms of the performance indicators that these people look at with great admiration, whilst they're also making money. So what does Islam says, oh mankind, your life is not, oh you who believe, astaghfirullah azim, your life is not just plain amusement. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying to us, saying to the Prophet, to tell us, those who believe. But we are comfortable in plain amusement. We're comfortable in obeying instructions for someone else. But we cannot be comfortable working together as a team and cooperating as a team so that we can see the beauty of ourselves. So this evening is all about cooperation. May I dig the vaults in my conscience and deep down into the reservoir of consciousness, wrapped with some Islamic spirituality and the good old grandparents' reflection. Because we would not have been here if they didn't work as a team, if they did not cooperate with each other. And we've allegedly have all these scholars and all these researchers and all these historians that know so much about the man and know very little about us. That's what we have a problem with. All of these people that comes out, not Elijah Muhammad and not Malcolm or Malik El-Shabazz and a few others, Walter Rodney, all the others, them know everything about the man. What them like, what they don't like, what them do, how them do, what them do. Them know so much about the man. And they don't know nothing about us. And they don't have no sense of developing us internally or externally. They don't. They don't even orchestrate how we can become closer together, love one another. They don't do that. They don't even have a system to help families, whether they're married families, but families. And even in the church, there's no system or structure that says, I will keep you all binding together or bonded together in the name of God. No. Pastor would have wife and commit adultery. Wife would have husband and still commit adultery. And so on and so on and so on and so on and so on. Because you're not leaning on something that's real. It's allow you to do anything you want to do. Lawlessness. But my point is this. Others can see the best of us and they can also ill-treat us and do what the hell they want to do with us, and we will deal with it. Allow it to happen. We're commercial. That's why we are good consumers And the Chacha man, them can see our frailties. So they provide our needs, our necessities. Them get a share of us too. The Chacha, the Indian man, him get a share of us too. The Caucasians who enslave us and who put us in this bondage, him get the better share. But just for our survival, our nutrition comes from the Chacha. How shameful is that also? Yet still we have these educated so-called prime ministers, ambassadors, and British, what you call it, general secretary, or whatever, to the Queen. It's a shame that all these things continues to happen. And we're strong for the Caucasian and weak, absolutely weak for ourselves. And we don't even consider being strong for ourselves. Because after the play and amusement, that's it. We go about our business. Carnival, everybody's ready already. They've been ready from last year. And as the days getting closer and closer, them ready, man. Them so ready. Them can't wait. Summer's already praying that the 3 days them will be good sunlight, no shower of rain. They don't want the rain. That's the mess that we're in. That's the mess we're in. And we get upset when someone like me say these things. Well, all you have to do, don't throw stones. All you have to do is ask yourself, is anything he's saying make sense? And then ask yourself a serious question. How come our scholars and historians, them know so much about the white man to write it, they don't know little about us? But yet still we say, him divide we and rule we. So if he's divided and ruling, which he has done, and he continues to do, because we fool. What about teaching us how to fall in love with ourselves? What about teaching us how to develop trust within ourselves? What about teaching us about our culture and our morals within our culture and how sacred that is? And we should never let anyone come and violate it. No matter which side of the fence we choose, out of the 52 or 54 nations on the continent, the culture is so rich and it's so morally sound, but we are outside. And you know our DNA, our melanin, our soul, every fabric of us yearns to be reconnected. So there's no problem there. The only problem is we have Caucasian vision through theological practices. Yeah. See, I say this, the Quran asks us to be dutiful to self and others. That's what the Quran asks us to do. To be dutiful to self and others. Yes. It asks us to be sincere and true to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It does. It don't tell us to follow anything more than obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So there's a big difference, people. Seriously, it's a big difference. The Quran instructions deals with every fabric of her being. Leave nothing loose and unattended. Maybe that's why so much of people is afraid of Al-Islam. So when you come now, you throw your little punch. You said, it's an Arab thing. And I keep telling you, you're disrespecting, maybe knowingly, your own people. But how can I blame you? Because you're following your master's lead. Now, if you said Arabians, I keep trying to tell you, we can understand. If you said Persians, we can also understand. But you're not saying that because your knowledge and you come with a prejudice and a hatred based on your theological practices and learning. And you feel that you understand, to which you don't. None of you don't. Including Robin Walker, and he does. He only tickles you all fancies, I'm telling you. Because he does. He's red. And him cannot say other because there's too much of you all. And there's too much black people like that. Look at what happened to Rasta. Rasta validate them. Well, some Rasta validate themselves to by the script, by the Bible. And some of them don't know which one for take, so them just take. And them used to say they want the Maccabee, and the Maccabees are tribe, and it's one of the books them that is being exonerated from the other book and everything. So how the hell can them validate themselves with that? You see? So everything that we had that was pure for us got indoctrinated by the theological studies. And it's amazing that no one ever tried to validate themselves, and they don't have to, but look at faith or religion or guidance or what, and investigate the Quran. What you've investigating is Arab. And you still didn't investigate Arab. And those of you who understand about the Persians and the Saudis, these people that Britain put up there, they did castrate us and all these things. We want to behave like say we don't know. And now the same set of people is down there in Libya doing some wicked and terrible things to black people, African people. And then you have your Saudi that you seem not to recognize. Maybe you want some of that oil. I don't know what you want. But they're over there in Yemen, mashing up the place, backed by Britain and the gases and the guns and them planes and America and so on. And the United Nations and all these people are playing a blind eye. You think say we strip it? When I think says games we playing because we are Muslims and we play black. No! We don't wrap up in wrongness. Because it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's not politics. It's Allah we deal with. And Allah who deals with us. You understand? Not party political broadcasting and joining forces with man. No. No. The only forces we do join force with is Muhammad. You understand? That's it. So beg the question now. Why aren't we cooperating with each other? Why aren't we unified with each other? Why aren't we got any structures together? Why are we just a people that are so disjointed? It has goddamn nothing in these centuries to do with any goddamn white man. It's to do with our frailties. Because we're great artists. We're great team players for other people, not for ourselves. So you see the dumbing down of the education, the misappropriate actions by following someone that you believe in so much. That someone is called Jesus. Find the Jesus and have a chat. I'm sounding cynical as some of you vexed in the backside, but it's reality. 628, you don't have no damn thing called J. None of them. Matthew, listen, you don't have nothing like that. Huh? And don't bother come with Joseph and Jacob and the children of Israel, because Jacob, you can't call... Because I don't know how you become this Israelite either, because you're dealing with Jacob and there's no J. So what are you dealing with? And now the teachers of these people are telling people how to humiliate us and say some dirty things so that there be a clash between the two of us. And they won't, because they're harming themselves. Because you see what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell us? When someone attacks the Quran in such vulgarity or vulgar way and so forth, leave them. Because that which they put out is what they will get back. You understand? You curse Allah, and Allah will deal with you. But the curse that you put out by cursing, is your curse will come back on you. That's why we use it figuratively speaking. If you have glass house, don't bother throw a stone. I may have glass house. And I'm not just throwing aspersions. I'm trying to say to people, check for yourself. For yourself. No, the cooperation that's going to be great, and I'm going to give it, it excludes religion. It includes it, but it excludes it. Why? Whatever you are, keep it to yourself. Whatever I am, I'm keeping it. Yeah? But I can't help. There's many of us like me. We can't help. You understand? But that should not stop me and you from working together and cooperating together. See? In all the years that I have been developing people them to play basketball and make them into a team, the criteria wasn't to be a Muslim and not to be a Christian. The criteria was to be consistent and to be willing to work hard. To work hard and develop themselves as good athletes. And those who are not flexible, to work, to develop their bodies and stretch. Get themselves to be flexible. You understand? That's me. That's how I do my thing. And I'm working with them and their parents. I mean, I just work with the young people. I work with their families, because no one no go charge me for nothing. Because me love hands-on. See? So I have to deal with the parents them as well. But the point I'm making is that we work towards something. And it's not based on religion and this, that. Right? And no one would have a better role or better position if he's a Muslim than the next person. That don't come into it. We start with prayer. And most of the people, the majority, is from the Christian faith. And we hold hands. And one of, we will go round and round, but one of the individuals will lead us in prayer. Many always come out within the name of Jesus and the blood of Jesus and everything. And we still say, we Muslims, we still say amen. Yeah. And when we find the most appropriate moments, we just say to them, listen, you all need to do some research. We can't help. You understand? Or next week or whenever, right? We have some documentation. They say, listen, there's some homework for you to do, right? Check the Bible out, check these verses, do some research. I know you love that name, but do some research. And if it's sacrifice that make you somebody and supposed to make us somebody, why the world is the way it is? Is it only African people that the sacrifice now work for? Why? Because man not supposed to be bloodletting anymore. From from that happen and the resurrection, everything. Man supposed to be good. Supposed to be behaving good. And not supposed to be bloodletting. But now work like that. So there's something wrong there, isn't it? Something wrong there. It's a wishful thinking by those who put it out there. And then when we tell them about the Inquisitions and so forth, and all the books that was removed because they couldn't get everyone following the same thing, and these kind of orders was going on across Europe. And this is well before the split between Martin Luther and Henry and all these other people. Yes. And some people were deemed to be mad and so forth, and people are burned at the stake, and all these things happen here in Europe, man. But that's their history that I was taught and I read. We need to do our own so we can fall in love with ourselves, you understand? So we are dealing with cooperation. Yes. Yeah, what may I read now? We all make time for what we feel is important in our lives. We all do. So we black people, we African people, we're supposed to make time so we can fall in love with each other and develop trust among each other and honor each other, especially our women. When I talk about girlfriend, boyfriend, and all these sexual... No. You understand? We need to do that. But I'm going to show you how we can do that. Little more. Yo, and on Friday, me did that... Listen, me don't say me apologize already. But my wife was on the scene. Me lost my bearings. And I should have remembered say that my independent now and everything would have been cold, right? I still had it going on in my brain, right? You understand? And yeah, I fell into that. And that just show you how much I regarded what I was doing, how conscious and how sincere my whole being has been. You see? So now I have to just try my best. I try to show a principle that I have to step out of that and restructure myself. Because I didn't lose myself. Oh my God. Right? When you deal with people, and you work with people, you try to do things properly with people. You understand? And the people them don't seem to understand that this is how you are. You see? And it's important. It's important. Very important that these type of things is understood. You know? When you commit yourself to something. And that's what I did. You know? Once I commit myself and my family to something, we stay with it. If we can't do it, we just tell you straight away we can't do it. Yeah? And even then when we tell we can't do it, we try to figure out something so that we can get advice so you can go somewhere else or do something else to suffice. You understand? Yeah. So when we just decide for break, not create a community, you know, just separate. You know, I say it gone. Green Machine.
Even when I fail you,
Bright Lights, a good man. I agree. Watch it.
love me. Your holy presence surrounding me.
Listen.
You'll be there. Oh,
We're going back to the stringing, see? It's good to be free. Oh.
The old sound looks the same as I step down from the train.
Listen.
There to meet me was my mama and my papa. Down the road,
mixture, me I tell you.
there runs Mary.
Sweet.
Hair of gold and lips like cherries. It's good to touch the green, green grass of home.
Selector.
The old house is still standing. The paint is tough and dry.
Yeah, you must tell a friend, you know.
There's that old oak tree out that I used to play on. Down the road I look, and there runs Mary. Hair of gold and lips like cherries. It's good to touch the green, green grass of home. Lord, Lord.
Many changes in my life.
Selector, man.
Sometimes the pain cuts like a knife.
Ladies, we're there with you. We love you, man. Respect you. We're not close on. You know what I mean? Yeah. Modestly dressed.
Now I know it's a part of life. Oh, no, I'm never gonna stop loving you, my baby. No, I'm never gonna quit. This love is here to stay. No, I'm never gonna stop loving you, my baby. No way. Never gonna quit until my dying day. Ain't it funny the way things turned out? You give me so much songs to write about, like this love that we got and how we got started. Yeah, yeah. Let's write about the way things are right now. No, I'm never gonna stop loving you, my baby. No, I'm never gonna quit. This love is here to stay. No, I'm never gonna stop loving you, my baby.
Listen. Yo, Caribbean.
There it was, right in front of my eyes. Hit me so hard, it's no secret, no. Only once you came and changed my life. I thank you. I wanna thank you right now. I see the light. Yes, I thank you. I wanna thank you. There's no words that can describe. You bring me sunshine. You bring me so much joy. You bring me laughter, happiness I can't afford. You bring me sunshine. You bring me so much joy.
Caribbean.
You bring me laughter, happiness I can't afford. Even if I could, I wouldn't change it. The only thing I do is ask for more. Now there's no if, no buts, or maybe. Found the love that I've been searching for. I thank you.
prayer is to linger with you at the end of the day in a dream that's divine. My prayer,
precious,
is a rapture in blue.
She's so sweet.
With the world far away and your lips close to mine. Tonight,
Yo, tell a friend, man, so you can come join me on Tuesday and on Friday. I tell you, you have two things to join for, the conversation and the rhythms.
The answer you give, may it still be the same.
Can we do things
for
different?
For as long as we live.
Well, legend and veteran and veteran.
Tell them.
This one is for the reggae icon who died from the 60s and still a go on strong.
Yeah, Maccabee.
Some of the legendary reggae icon. Them are the legendary reggae icon.
I got a poet,
recording from the 60s and they still a go on strong. Legendary reggae icon. Big up Freddy, still a go on steady. Still singing songs at lightning speed. Barry Summer still a serenade the woman. Can't stop the icon and what them a go do, man. But see I just big up Marcia. Still a look great doing the most up plate. What a joy. We a listen to the Raya the Chode. We still a listen Big Yoon cause the reggae icon them extraordinary. We have to big up the one Lee Perry. 80 years young, just past middle age and still a jump up and down on the stage. A the legendary reggae icon. Some of the legendary reggae icon. Singing from the 60s and I sing new song. Legendary reggae icon. Some of the legendary reggae icon. Them are the legendary reggae icon. Recording from the 60s and them still a going strong. Legendary reggae icon. Sarah Spank to the roots man a reggae icon. Still a tour the world and still a make new song. Burning Spear him a one also I Jaman. Mighty Diamonds and the Abyssinian. The roots reggae icon from then till now like Bonnie Wailer and Max Romeo. Others like Twinkle Brothers still in a full flow. Me dep on no show featuring the Congo. A the legendary reggae icon. The legendary reggae icon. Singing from the 60s and I still a going strong. Legendary reggae icon. So Jimmy Cliff, still a headline festival. Like in a circle, Toots and the Metal. Bob and the Harris and the Era Dunkley Dampin. And some of the reggae icon from the 60s them. Some of them ragga, some of them smooth. Like Owen Gray and the one Ken Boot.
See? You see how things work? Now one can't tell me say that don't sound good for them. You understand? And that's how we like things, man. You see? Yes, so now we are going to school. We are start the program now. We are going straight into the classroom. You pay attention. Listen.
Why should the black man in America concern himself since we've been away from the African continent for 400?
The time is now 1 minute past 8, so we are going to the classroom. See? Don't be late. Watch it. Great.
Why should the black man in America concern himself since we've been away from the African continent for 400 years, 300 or 400 years? Why should we concern ourselves? What impact does what happened to them have upon us? Number one, first you have to realize that up until 1959, Africa was dominated by the colonial powers, and by the colonial powers of Europe having complete control over Africa, they projected the image of Africa negatively. They projected Africa always in a negative light. Jungles, savages, cannibals, nothing civilized. And naturally, it was so negative until it was negative to you and me. And you and I began to hate it. we didn't want anybody to tell us anything about Africa, and much less call us an African. And in hating Africa and hating the African, we ended up even hating ourselves without even realizing it. Because you can't hate the roots of a tree and not hate the tree. You can't hate your origin and not end up hating yourself. You can't hate Africa and not hate yourself. And you show me one of these people over here who have been thoroughly brainwashed, who has a negative attitude toward Africa, and I'll show you one that has a negative attitude toward himself. You can't have a negative attitude toward yourself, a positive attitude toward yourself, and a negative attitude toward Africa at the same time. To the same degree that your attitude, that your understanding of an attitude toward Africa becomes positive, you'll find that your understanding of and your attitude toward yourself will also become positive. And this is what the white man knows. So they very skillfully made you and me hate our African identity, our African characteristics. And you know yourself that we have been a people who hated our African characteristics. We hated our hair. We hated the shape of our nose. We wanted one of those long, dog-like noses, you know. Yeah. We hated the color of our skin. Hated the blood of Africa that was in our veins. And in hating our features and our skin and our blood, why we had to end up hating ourselves. And we hated ourselves. Our color became to us a chain. We felt that it was holding us back. Our color became to us like a prison, which we felt was keeping us confined, not letting us go this way or that way. And we felt that all of these restrictions were based solely upon our color, and the psychological reaction to that would have to be that as long as we felt imprisoned or chained or trapped by black skin, black features, and black blood, that skin and those features and that blood that was holding us back automatically had to become hateful to us. And it became hateful to us. It made us feel inferior. It made us feel inadequate. It made us feel helpless. And when we fell victim to this feeling of inadequacy or inferiority or helplessness, we turned to somebody else to show us the way. We didn't have confidence in another black man to show us the way, or black people to show us the way. In those days, we didn't. We didn't think a black man could do anything but play some horn, you know, some sound, and make you happy with some songs. And in that way, but in serious things, where our food, clothing, and shelter was concerned, and our education was concerned, we turned to the man. We never thought in terms of bringing these things into existence for ourselves. We never thought in terms of doing things for ourselves because we felt helpless. And what made us feel helpless was our hatred for ourselves. One of the things that made the Black Muslim movement grow was its emphasis upon things African. This was the secret to the growth of the Black Muslim movement. African blood, African origin, African culture, African ties. And you'd be surprised. We discovered that deep within the subconscious of the black man in this country, he's still more African than he is American. He thinks that he's more American than African because the man is jiving him and the man is brainwashing him every day, telling him, you're an American, you're an American. Man, how could you think you're an American and you have never had any kind of American treat over here? You have never. 10 men can be sitting at a table eating, you know, dining. And I can come and sit down where they're dining. They're dining. I got a plate in front of me, but nothing is on it. Because all of us are sitting at the same table, are all of us diners? I'm not a diner until you let me dine. Then I become a diner. Just being at the table with others who are dining doesn't make me a diner. And this is what you got to get in your head here in this country. Just because you're in this country doesn't make you an American. And no, you got to go farther than that before you can become an American. You got to enjoy the fruits of Americanism. And you haven't enjoyed those fruits. You've enjoyed the thorns. You've enjoyed the thistles, but you have not enjoyed the fruits. No, sir. So I point these things out, brothers and sisters, so that you and I will know the importance in 1965 of being in complete unity with each other, harmony with each other, and not letting the man maneuver us into fighting one another. I say that again that I'm not a racist. I don't believe in any form of segregation or anything like that. I'm for the brotherhood of everybody, but I don't believe in forcing brotherhood upon people who don't want it. As long as we practice brotherhood among ourselves, and then others who want to practice brotherhood with us, we practice it with them also. We're for that. But I don't think that we should run around trying to love somebody who doesn't love us. Thank you.
Listen, classroom, section 1.
Once your work is finished, don't watch the television. Once your work is finished, find something constructive to add to your mind. Have an hour for reading. And I don't mean read comic books. Read something that will make you know what's happening. So when you get in a conversation, you can sound intelligent even if you aren't. Do you hear me what I'm saying? Why, what kind of man want a wife today who can't hold a conversation? No, don't a man want to sit up and talk to you about babies, or about Johnny needs some shoes. Your husband don't even want to hear that. One of the reasons you have trouble in your house is you can't carry an intelligent adult conversation. Right. When your husband was dead, you talk trash. That's all you talk, trash. Now he come out, he's a Muslim. He want to talk about Yaqub. He want to talk about the sun, moon, and star. He want to talk about cracking atoms. Even if he don't know what he's talking about, that's what he want to talk about. I'm telling you this so you won't lose your husband. All of you will agree that your husband is more serious once he became a Muslim than he was when he was a Christian. He's serious. Now, you can't hold no man down like you used to, talking some trash about sister so-and-so. I'm telling you, that would drive a man crazy. No, go get a book and read it. And then when he come in the house, start talking to him about something that's going to nourish his mind and nourish your mind. Read your lessons and talk about the lessons. But I'm going to tell you a strange thing. I don't want to get on this subject, but I'm going to tell you anyway. See, you've been so far away from this that if your husband's sitting reading, studying, he can be reading beside you, studying, something serious, you think he's ignoring you. But if he put down his book and both of y'all sit and watch the TV together, that makes you happy, doesn't it? Why don't you think that he can read with you as easy as watch the television with you? I'm going to tell you why. You don't know enough about what he's reading. You don't know enough about what he's interested in, so that when he's doing what he's interested in, you feel left out. But the television is your level. Please forgive me for saying it. But the television is your level. You got a television brain, a television vocabulary, and you live in a television world. Now, as long as your man is spending time with you on your level, you're happy. But when he tries to get you into a world that's based on intellect, that's based on intelligence, that's based on nourishing that brain, you feel left out. And you are left out. I don't make you angry for saying this, do I? But this is good for you, because when you understand that, you know how to get him, and if you got him, you know how to keep him. But if you don't understand it, I'll guarantee you, you won't keep what you got, and you won't get what you got your eyes on. Do you understand that? That's the beginning. That's when you take your first step. But there's more to it than that. And what you and I want to do is get organized so not only can we take a step, we can dance a little bit. You understand? See, stepping is all right. Walking is all right. But when you can use those legs, brother, to put down all kinds of action, then you got it made. Do you understand? Very good. The black man, by being the natural man and in accord with nature, has perfect control over all of his natural ability. He harmonizes it. He blends it. He rhythm, brother. He be rocking your jaw singing the tune. Am I right or wrong? He's different. All that's a sign. All that shows you what you can do when you get in accord with nature, when you get in accord with your own nature, and when you be yourself. Do you understand? Now, whenever a man has to run a race, he has to have perfect control over both legs. Am I right? Right. Whenever a man has to win a battle, he has to have perfect control over both arms, over both fists. Is that right or wrong? What controls his arms? His legs? No. What controls his legs? His arms? No. Neither. His head. The head controls both of them. The head keeps these arms coordinated, and the head keeps the legs coordinated. You must have a head in order to have coordination. You must have a head in order to have rhythm. In fact, you must have a head in order to have even a body, in order to have anything. That's the coordinator. That's the blender. That's the harmonizer. And this is why Allah had to come to America and raise up the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and make him our head. Once the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was placed here as our head, immediately it became his task or mission to coordinate the entire body of 20 million black people here in America. He has the MGT and the FOI. Left hand, right hand. You don't mind called left hand. You don't mind being left hand, do you? Be glad that you're a hand. I'm showing you. I'm listening to you. Some of y'all, if I said it, you say, why he call us left hand? You should be glad to be on the body. Do you hear what I'm saying? Don't never make why? That's like saying, why do he have to call us women? You can't be a man. If I call you a man, I'd be wrong. No, you're a woman. He's a man. You're a female. He's a male. Am I right or wrong? You're feminine and he's masculine. That don't mean he's better than you, and that doesn't mean you're better than he. Same with the left hand and the right hand. If you train the left hand right, it can do the same thing the right hand can, and vice versa. Is that right or wrong? It all depends upon the development of the members of the body. The development of the members of the body is what governs the ability of that particular member. Same with the MGT and the same with the FOI. Same with a sister and the same with a brother. Same with a wife and the same with a husband. The devil, during slavery, destroyed the masculinity or manhood of the so-called Negro. No man. No man. Right now you got to be trained all over again to be a man. So you can't stand up and say to your woman, I'm a man. If you're that, you don't even have to say that. Don't you look like telling someone you're a man? You make it sound like you're doubtful. I mean, am I right or wrong? No. If I had to come in here and tell you that I was a minister, why, good night. You must not know what I am. I'd be ashamed to tell you that. If you didn't know that I was that, I would never say it. Because something would be lacking. Is that right or wrong? Same way with manhood. When you have to tell someone, I'm a man too, why you think so-called Negro have to tell a white man, I'm a man same as you? Because you're not a man the same as he. No, this man got factories. Banks. That's what make him a man, brother. When you get the same thing, your woman will say, man. You know that? You come up with a bank. Well, your wife will call you a man all the way across town. You won't never have to tell her you boss. She'll call you boss. Call you daddy and mean it. Don't never worry about what your brother is thinking about you or what your sister is thinking about you. You worry about what Allah knows about you. See, Allah don't have to think about it. Allah knows. Allah knows your heartbeat. He knows how many times your heart will beat from the day you're born to the day you die. Allah look at you right now and know exactly how many times your heart will beat. I believe you got some scientists in here. And since y'all put the sun up in the sky, we want you to straighten out this light. That's what I mean when I say, when brothers come to me asking me way out questions, you may get indignant because I give you an answer to get you off of that. Well, I'm doing you a favor. You have got no business in your right mind, intelligently, worrying about something way out, and you yet haven't mastered this right here. Do you understand? I may hurt your feelings if you come to me with some of those way out questions. But I'm doing you a favor. I'm giving you justice. I'm bringing you back down to earth. I'm putting your feet on the ground. I'm giving you what you call it, aerial, I'm grounding you. Because you got no business being way out and way in here at the same time. Do you understand? All praise is due to Allah.
See? That's how we are dealing with the classroom. So right now we are going to look upon human rights, not civil rights, human rights. Listen.
Minister Malcolm, I'd like to know why you place so much emphasis on calling the freedom struggle among Afro-Americans in this country a struggle for human rights rather than civil rights.
Well, most of our people don't even know the meaning of civil rights. And by not knowing what it is they're actually trying to get, it has eluded us for the past 100 years. Civil rights is supposed to mean citizenship. When you have civil rights, you have citizenship. When you have citizenship, you have civil rights. And if the 22 million Afro-Americans were actually citizens of this country, it wouldn't be necessary to pass any kind of additional legislation to include us in the Constitution. If you notice, whenever the people come here from Europe, they can come here from Poland, which is a communist country. They don't need any legislation to make this Polish person a citizen. They don't need any additional civil rights legislation to make the refugees from Hungary who come here citizens. They don't need any additional legislation to make anyone who comes to this country a citizen. But when it comes to the rights of the black people who are the descendants of slaves, then immediately new legislation is necessary. So this right here implies that when the Constitution was written, in some way or other, it must have excluded those of us who were slaves at that time. And because we were excluded from the Constitution when it was originally written, today they have to amend it in order to include us. But if you notice, the Civil War didn't include us in the Constitution. Had the Civil War Constitution, we would be citizens today. Had the amendments even to the Constitution actually included us, we would be citizens today. If the Supreme Court desegregation decision way back in 1954 was sufficient to include us into the jurisdiction of the Constitution, all of our problems would be solved today. So there's something about civil rights that makes it almost impossible for us to get it. So you have to know the difference between civil rights and human rights. As long as our people are begging for civil rights, or they are labeling their struggle for freedom, justice, and equality under the label of civil rights, then what they do is leave us in the jurisdiction of Uncle Sam's courts. And it's actually Uncle Sam who is guilty of all of the violation of our rights that have taken place in this country. So when you go to Uncle Sam to try and get some kind of redress over civil rights violations, you're taking your case to the man who's responsible for the violation. So the only way our people can really get some meaningful results, it has to be taken out of Uncle Sam's hands and taken into a world court. And the world court that has been set up to listen to the complaints of human rights violations is in the United Nations. Human rights are international, and civil rights come within the jurisdiction of the countries where these rights are violated. Some people may wonder why our brothers from Africa and Asia have not spoken out more boldly or without compromise on the injustices that the 22 million Afro-Americans experience in this country. They can't speak out. As long as these injustices are labeled by us as civil rights, then this remains a domestic issue, and none of our people from abroad, because of protocol, can become involved in Uncle Sam's domestic problems. So all the civil rights groups have to do is expand the struggle from civil rights to human rights. And once it is expanded to the level of human rights, then this puts us in a position to charge Uncle Sam with violating the UN Charter on Human Rights. We can take it before the United Nations, and other nations of this earth can then side with us and indict Uncle Sam for the mistreatment of 22 million Afro-Americans. The very fact that the struggle of the black people in South Africa, or I should say the injustices that have been experienced by black people in South Africa has come before the UN, or the injustices experienced by our own people again in Angola has been brought before the UN. Even the oppression of the Hungarians has been brought before the UN. The plight of the Jews in Soviet Russia, and there's only 3 million of them in Russia, has been brought before the UN. Well, then why hasn't the problem of the 22 million Afro-Americans come before the United Nations? It has not come before them because the leaders of the civil rights struggle don't understand what civil rights actually amount to. When they are mature to the point where they can see that their present struggle has kept them under Uncle Sam's jurisdiction, and Uncle Sam is not morally capable of solving this problem, then they will shift it out of the courts of Uncle Sam and take it to the courts of the United Nations on the level of human rights, and we'll get some kind of meaningful results. As long as we keep it at the civil rights level, we alienate the support of our brothers and sisters in Africa and Asia. But when we shift it to the level of human rights, we have the support of billions of black, brown, red, and yellow people from all over this earth behind us.
The United States is a great world power and has in the past exercised a lot of control and power within the United Nations. So how can you expect to wage a successful battle against such a powerful country in a world court?
Well, whenever you believe in what the United States has taught us concerning democracy, which means one voice, one vote, this is good, because in the present world setup, world governmental setup, as is represented by the United Nations, each country there has one vote, which means that no matter how wealthy a nation is, it only has one vote. And no matter how poor a nation is, it still has one vote. So the ballot actually equalizes the poor man and the rich man. Back when the United Nations was set up, it consisted largely of white nations, because most of the dark nations were then colonized and weren't independent. Since the dark nations have gained their independence and have emerged on the scene, today in the UN you have more dark nations who are in a position to vote in a bloc than you have white nations. So that we have a situation now where the grouping together of the dark nations who formerly were colonized has given them enough political power to offset the military power and prestige of these mighty white nations of the West. And it is their support. It is only in the United Nations, where everyone has the ballot, where everyone has equal vote, that the plight of the black man can be given a just hearing, and the weight of the dark world can come down on our side and balance the scale on our side. But whenever you take it into the white man's court, you never will get justice, because the white man is the guilty one who committed the crime in the first place. It's like taking your case from the wolf to the fox to take it to Washington, D.C.
I don't think I wholeheartedly go along with that, Mr. Malcolm. I have some appreciation for your discussion as regards to the human right and the civil right. But here in America, as a band of Negroes, I think the most progressive thinking that we could possibly attain is civil rights. This is the thing that we want. This is the thing that we hope to get. This is the thing that we're going out to fight for. Without our civil rights, the human rights, and the rest of the elements are non-entities as far as
human rights come before civil rights.
That may be so, but the civil rights are an important factor.
You can never get civil rights until you have human rights. Human rights represent the right to be a human being. Whenever you are respected and recognized as a human being, your civil rights are automatic.
But if we get civil rights, we are human beings.
No, you have to get the recognition of human rights first. This is why people can come here from Africa and Asia and immediately are able to benefit from what the Constitution stands for, because they are recognized as a human being when they touch the shores of North America. But the black people in this country, all of our human characteristics were destroyed by slavery. Our language was destroyed. Our history was destroyed. Our culture was destroyed. And then the white man taught us that we were savages in the jungle and living at a subhuman level. And for this reason, when they put the Constitution together, they classified our people as 3/5 of a man, which meant subhuman, not a complete human being. And once our human characteristics were completely destroyed, this gave them justification for treating us like we were animals. And it also justified their selling us from plantation to plantation like you sell a horse and a cow and a bag of wheat. Why, George Washington himself historically is on record as having sold or having traded a black man for a keg of molasses, which shows you he didn't regard that black man as a human being. If the black man's human rights had been respected, he never could have been a slave here in America. And if his human rights had been restored by the Emancipation Proclamation, automatically we would have been citizens right after the Civil War. So we must be regarded as human. Our human rights must be respected before we can ever be regarded as citizens and our civil rights be respected.
This is how things work. and nothing has changed. See? So, where's our Malcolm? Where's our Malika Shabazz? Where's our people? You see? So we're going to try find out where they are in a second. Go on. I tell you this, we do things different. You see what I mean? We're not follow, we follow our ancestors, we follow our grandparents, we follow our soul, we follow our spirituality, we follow our sensibility. You see? So, yes, listen, rhythm. Cultural expression. Things and times, yeah, wrapped up in one.
Let the naked be clothed. Let the blind be led. Let the hungry be fed. And the aged be protected. Lord, deliver us. Lord, deliver us. Lord, deliver us. 'Cause with all the things that men have learned to make.
You see how rude we is? I tell you, man, listen lyrics. You think, say, we grow with these, you know. Mr. Have a nice baby, boy, I tell you. Enid. Yeah. She's sweet. Love her to the max. St. Lucia, Guyana. Yeah. St. Vincent. Grenada.
Let the blind be led. Let the hungry be fed.
Speak the truth.
And the aged be protected. Lord, deliver us. Lord, deliver us. Lord, deliver us. 'Cause with all the things that men have learned
Teach.
to make things
What?
that goes around the world.
Still can, still can, still can.
Can't help us, still can't help us, still can't help us.
Let me tell you.
Children go to school.
Learn.
Smarter than your father, don't be a fool. Let the people be led.
Shall rewind? What? My good today. Go on. Teach. Happiness.
Let the naked be clothed.
Listen.
Let the blind be led.
Classroom.
Let the hungry be fed. And the aged be protected. Lord, deliver us. Lord, deliver us. Lord, deliver us. 'Cause with all the things that men have learned to make things that goes around the world.
Still can, still can, still can.
Can't help us, still can't help us, still can't help us. Look here now. Children go to school.
Teach. was one of them times, being at school, enjoying life and education and guidance. Had a wonderful platonic relationship. Oh gosh, man. Patience is the key, because when the right time comes, it will be very beautiful, totally worth the wait. Yeah, bad-minded people, you must understand, Don't bother yourself with us, because we too, we're important. We understand the thing. Yes, people, what we are saying now, we need to cooperate. Yeah? But the most important thing I want to say is this, Really. Once we coordinate our efforts, because throughout the United Kingdom, we have people and groups of people that are doing all forms of things. And after the New Cross massacre, some system seems to went into place that we have not identified pain, or we have not come together with any pain, any concerns, any miseries, anything. We haven't. And I am saying that we need to coordinate our efforts to bring about a different function. We have to. And once we coordinate ourselves, we will also harmonize ourselves. And in that harmony, we see the black power of relationship. And I stress to use the word, I actually use the word deliberately, because once we become harmonized, we see the black power, the bodies of black power, and we see black relationship. But we mustn't be afraid of the pessimists. I've always said that from the time I come on the platform. Because that will happen. And some of the pessimists will be working for other agencies or other outside bodies. But nevertheless, once we do not allow them, because it's not going to be it, allow them to take up too much time, they'll be very useful. Because whether they're working for an authority or an organization, or they're just infiltrating for infiltrating sake because they get some popularity or they get some pittance, they'll be doing something valuable for us. And all we have to do is limit the amount of time. And someone is already saying, how would we recognize? Of course you recognize. We've been here long enough. We'll recognize them. But they'll be useful, because it's not everything that we will be able, or we will see. And since they're there by design, they'll be useful. You know? And true to this relationship, we will have the black power relationship. We will be, for the first time, I do think, have an effective way of developing our responsibility. An effective way of developing our responsibility. Because Why those words are put there? Because we all know what it is. We all know what the issues are. We all know what we need to do. But if we can all be responsible, whilst we harmonize ourselves and develop this black power body of relationship, the effective development with responsibility for our social coordination and shade improvement would give us all the accessories that we require. It will give us all the accessories that we require. One could be, I'm just going to put these three out there, these three. And that's just me. That's not us, that's just me. Education, health, development, and banking. And banking. And I talk about social banking, international banking, diasporan banking. When I talk some group of people, them trying to do something round the corner and have the Western Union and that. No. We don't want to go down the road with that man again. We don't want to go down the road with some new guys again, a new set of people that have scamming skills already. See? So, our islands, the CARICOM, all of these bodies, all of these organizations, all these institutions, we're supposed to be working with. Them supposed to acknowledge us. We have to make them recognize us. That's why the word is called the body of black power, the bodies. Yeah? Because as a people, we are going to be powerful. But as splinters, we're very weak. And that's how we've been in 73 years. Splinters. Very weak and frail. But we know exactly what our needs are. And we know what we need to do. It's just that, let's say, in the church, we're not through aspersions anymore. Let's say we're in the church, we are waiting for one of the ministers them from the church to be that person. Whether it's my church, your church, or whose church, we wait for that. But it could have come from there. And it can still do. But they're not working together. Whether we say in the name of Muhammad, whether we say in the name of Christ, blah, blah, we're not working together. We may share the same book, but we're not working together. We need to dash those things aside. As Al-Haji Malik al-Shabazz have said, and be coordinated. Be cooperated. Be corporate. So that all those people, the Muslims, everyone can coordinate themselves towards cooperating and understand the bigger picture of harmony to bring about the body of black power. Not the 1 and 2 persons, no. That's segregation. That goes into the division. And yet still we all are suffering the same thing. I don't care who have which house, live in which part of London or England or so. No, we're all smelling the same thing. And whether the problem reach our doorstep or not, it's a friend of ours, it's somebody. It's one of us. And if it isn't us directly and we don't know the persons directly, it's still us. Because one day soon, 1 minute shortly, it will be on our doorstep also. So there's none of us is excluded or exclusive from any of these ill treatments that we have been continuing to receive all these years. But it's not just a treatment. It's how have we valued ourselves And what is it going to take? And no reparation, no African ministers are speaking, and African ministers are saying, hey, come talk to us, we're coming to talk to you, and so forth. Wait, are we going to move there with a colonial brain? Are we going to move or try to go home, go to the continent disjointed? Are we going to join those wetties and all these other people that needs to be reformed? Are we going to just go there for partying? Is that the value that we will have? That's why when it's work with a black power relationship, there's no room for stupidity. Ironing out with harmony, starting with an harmonious development, accepting responsibility, and developing relationships. There's nothing can be missing unless individuals are not sincere, or unless they've divorced themselves from being black, from being African. So when we put it in those contexts, you see, it frightens the very elect. Because nobody wants to be left behind or left outside. Whether they are Muslim, Christian, Jews, Gentile, or what, nobody. And we're going to continue to develop flesh on these words. Because them words they can't change, should not be changed. They be changed when there is a body. What do we want? What would we get? We need culture and moral cooperation, which gives us balance, brings about trust. Cultural dependency is the collaboration, is the cooperation of ourselves, developing, instituting teamwork. Developing and instituting teamwork. Not individualistic, Russian, this and that. Teamwork. All we have to do is collaborate. And all things will be given unto us. We will have those pessimists. I'm telling you. No problem. No problem. Even in a team, you can't have if you have 15 players for basketball, which is a team with the subs and everything. You have to have a starting five. And some of the best players just be on the bench. Are the best performers, are some of the greatest performers, are the most worthy performers. But everyone can't be on as a starter. But they all have a role. Everybody. And the role are interchangeable. So we cease to look at the personality, but we look at the effectiveness of what that individual or individuals will bring to the game, bring to the team. That's what the white man's been doing to us all these years. It's same way of having a group. You can't have one to play mud and another one to play bark and so forth and call it reggae or whatever the genre that you're supposed to be projecting. A foolishness, most are nice, punk rock, drum and bass, all these things. Nicey. So we're not the one to work with them type of thing. We don't know that already. What we don't do is do those things for ourselves. Collectively. For ourselves. So I'm working with a thing called valuing. I mean, I look for no disjointedness. And I'm tired of people them treating us and seeing us as savages. I'm tired of it. All of us should be tired of it. I'm also tired of acknowledging that our men and some of our women like the wetty, love to see the girls them in a provocative manner. That they need to change like any minute. That needs to change. Quick, sharp. And I find that some of the man them who turn around and say, yeah, it's right? They're the same people that's recording these things. They're the same people that love it. Them get a kick from it. Some of them earn from it. Them go draw money from bank, take loan and set up all kind of thing. International and so on. Pimping our girls. Our young women. So many of them drop out of school, go follow this thing. Just like the young boys them have all been groomed to be mules, drug mules and all kind of thing. I keep asking, what is it that's influencing? The law knows these things, but guess what? It's our children. They don't care. A lot of entrapment is out there also. But the bigger picture is us. We just need to cooperate. We need a balance. I tell you, I am good with the balance in that game that I coach and develop players. They must understand the principle of balance. They must understand coordination. They must understand consistency. They must understand and to appreciate each other. Because a team we I work with, not disjointedness of one and one. No. So I'm going to elect myself. I just want a body of people that ain't going to have a 50-year program because time and age is not on any of our side, especially me too. But the time we have is a lesson well learned. And we need to embrace that. And we need to assess and evaluate. I think that's what we do not spend time doing. And in this country, there's nothing that they don't do without assessing and evaluating. Yeah? You don't think say them assess Boris. They don't think say them evaluate him and say, all right, temporary measures. Come on, man. It's England we there. It's England we are. Please don't wait till the two Asian people and be told now is the time and them issue the guns to the national police and we're in a bigger problem. The biggest problem that we've ever faced, beside the ones that our brothers and sisters in America continue to face and were facing, the lynching and the torching and these things. Come on. Where are we going to run to? Over there is a phone, 17 bullets. Over here, what is it going to be? The same thing. Same thing. National Front, British movement, none of them people are going nowhere. Them get position. Them have political party. They're undercover. Them in the same forces. They're going to turn us into fodder. Hey! So we have to wake up and let's start flying right. This is Mr. Best. Things in Time, Cultural Expression. This is not a rant. This is not religious party political broadcasting. No. This is real talk. Proper. Proper. We're going to come back on it and come back on it and come back on it and come back on it. I'm telling you, we're going to reach out to the Caribbeans. We're going to reach out to the diaspora. We're going to make sure that Malik El-Shabazz, Al-Haji Malik El-Shabazz's words just do not stay there. And Imam Wordi Muhammad words just don't stay there. So, wake up. Let we go. We have work to do. You understand me? We have work to do. We're strong people. We lacking determination right now. We are strong people, but we're lacking determination right now. See? So, let us look at the word harmony. We want to be harmonious. We want to be a black power. We're not talking about the old black power party, you know. We want to be a black power, black African power base. Not one faction of Britain or Birmingham or Man. No. Collectively across this country. Everybody itself come and run political party. Whether it's green, pink, or whatever. We're the only docile set of people. Huh? And one group of well-educated set of people. And we ain't doing nothing for ourselves. Let's cooperate. Let's cooperate. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Let's cooperate. And all things will be coming unto us. May I tell you? Me is a believer.
From the fifth.
Me is a believer. You understand? We are going. Listen. Mr. Glenn Washington, listen.
Oh, so sweet kind of feeling when you do all the things you do. I get coochie kind of feeling.
You see what you now say? I am talk all of that and come back to the something. Listen to the lyrics because we now deal with all the other thing, you know. There's a time and a place for everything. We season. Zin? Yeah. Seasoning.
Hey girl, the way you make me feel.
Ladies.
I can't believe it's real.
Yo, high grade bright lights, man, the juice sweet. Now tell you.
When I'm lying,
I love the ginger flavor, man. Green machine is lovely.
Kind of feeling when you do
I think you lose some lime inside there.
I get coochie kind of feeling.
Mighty Glenn Washington, Mr. Glenn Washington. In the mighty.
Crazy kind of feeling when you cover me with your charm. Now time is tight and I haven't got much time to offer.
Same time enough.
If praise is to Jaja, I believe you're the one that I ask.
Principle.
And if ever I go out the door, you know I'll be back for sure. Loving you is a pleasure.
Yeah, you see. You see what we are trying to develop here? We're trying to develop to go international. You see? So we are going to creep. We're going to creep and do what we have to do with the name of God properly. But we have to creep. You understand? And we have patience. And everything will come right. Trust me. You understand? Many rivers to cross. And by the grace of God, we will cross them. Many bridges to build. And we will help. We will help, by the grace of God, help those who accept that we need and realize we need structure, we need solutions, we need harmony, we need cooperation. Right? I ain't going to work with nobody who are come talk about economics, because we be guilty of being entrapped with taking people's money. See? So the closest we should all reach for is a bank, a banking system, a banking structure. That means everybody have a right to put their money in there. And everybody have a right to withdraw their money when them see fit and feel necessary. You understand? As me say, I am not an economist. But one thing we know, once bitten, twice shy. We love money. And the path that was here before, many people thief the people them money. Many people them use the word today, scam the people them money. But you see, our partner never had those difficulties. Let me tell you that. It's what we call the word gentrification today that caused partner to struggle because people were moved from areas to different areas and connections was mashed up, was disturbed. You understand? So some people ain't speaking up the truth as them know. Them just assume. But many was what the word we are used today, gentrification, because there were many communities that were in London and the local and governments of Harold Wilson, Edward Heath and those people split us up. And that disenfranchised us. And the development that we were having, even with Jewish and Turkey and Greeks and Italians, was split up too. The Asians were represented by us. They were getting their backside kicked. They were brutalized. It's our parents, our men folks, that was supporting them. My father was one of those, was supporting them. When they would have to kick Webster's ass, but they were supporting them. How about East London? They were being burnt. They were being firebombed. They were being beaten. And the only people them that was putting up a resistance and fighting back was West Indian, Caribbean people. You understand? Someone needs to tell the Asian community all around England these stories, because it also happened up there, Handsworth. Is we that helped them to survive in England. Nobody else. And that's from brutality. There was no police force. The police force was beating their backside also. And the Teddy Boys. And the punks. Everybody. The British Party, the National Front, everybody. It was black people, Caribbean people, including my father, that helped them to survive. All about this place called East London. All about this place called Hackney. All up to East Ham. These things need to be spoken. Because I can see a situation happening in England right now. Now the three of them is up there big in this party. And these man them help them. They help the man for go get gun. And they're going to set them guns on our backside. And they're going to ill-treat our children anytime soon, within the next month. Watch and see. Even we can start at Carnival. And may God have mercy on us. But this Asian thing needs to be discussed. It needs to be discussed. And some of them pretend they don't know. They do. It's their children's who needs to know this. Because now they are powerful. They are very powerful in this country. It's we that weak, extraordinarily weak. And we come here and build back England to right it. And we are weak in this country. So all we did was blood, sweat, and tears. And our children today is being humiliated and disregarded by the same country that we blood, sweat, and tears for. Talk to me, people. Talk to me. You're amusing yourselves. Last one, guidance.
Kind of feeling when I'm lying next to you. I get this oh so sweet kind of feeling when you do all the things you do. I get this oochie coochie coochie kind of feeling when I hold you in my arms. I get this really lovely crazy kind of feeling when you cover me with your charm.
Guidance.
Time is tight and I haven't got much time to offer. Give praises to Jaja, I believe you're the one that I asked for. And if ever I go out the door, you know I'll be back for sure. Loving you is a pleasure, and you know I will always treasure the kind of feeling when I'm lying next to you. I get this oh so sweet kind of feeling when you do all the things you do. I get this oochie coochie coochie kind of feeling when I hold you in my arms. I get this really lovely crazy kind of feeling.
Spread the link.
When you cover
Tell a friend. I'm a Skype. It's Things time. Yeah, free charge, man. Skype. Things time.
Now it's time for us to think conscious. Man to woman is so unjust. You really don't know who to trust. Like to have you inside my door. Have some history or maybe more.
Thursday, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock conversation.
I get so excited when I think of
all about cooperation. Yo, Florida. I'm a yard musical massive. I'm a Florida massive producers. We there, man. Keep the white flag them flying. Principles still there. We still there, man. Collective. When you do that, we set the Facebook. Guidance. Sin.
Hypocritical mockers, he is waiting for a feast. Iniquity workers, sons and daughters of vanity.
See what may I tell you? We do things different. When I blow on the trumpet, you know, it's from the time we come on the radio thing, from the internet radio or something. You understand? And so we do. We can't change. We live it, we respect it, and we honor the music. You understand? We're not dealing with careless things, and we're not dealing with all this jump up, get round, and undressing. No. It's too important, our lives, and the lives of other people. You understand? Simple things. There's a time and place for everything. But it's about time we arise and shine. See? Yes. So when you listen to them lyrics, I don't care where them come from, Mars or Pluto or Jupiter, you listen to them lyrics, we have Selector Man. Last one, Guidance, we gone.
Control.
Prayer time.
Righteous shall be free.
Easy, Aisha.
He's got your back, though it seems against the wall. He'll hold you up when you think you might fall.
Four scored.
Gain the world and lose your soul, yeah.
Navigator.
For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. For yet a little while, and the righteous shall be free.
Yeah, man. I saw we stay.
I know, say, from music for play them on the F already.
Let go big chore.
And the big bag sound with them called Tipper Town, and I got to make it be known. Big up the one like Roddy Bone, Ochipeng, and the Black Rose is massive.
Pull it up, selector. Pull it up, selector. I Lego this year one, yeah.
Scene! Me can't go here. Morals!
The battle getting hotter and hotter. So, man, you got to know yourself. The battle getting hotter and hotter. So, man, you got to know yourself. Know yourself, black man.
Special request for everybody. The two persons. But spread the word so the two can be four. And then the four becomes 8. Things in time, culture expression. Mr. Best, we there. Selector, principle.
It's freedom for the human race.
Yes.
That's what the world needs today.
And we are bringing it to them. We are dealing with reality. We're not dealing with a false prophecy. We are dealing with reality. We've been here. We've been on this journey long time. We need to leave something, set example, develop our children. You understand? We are people. We are proud people. Mustn't lose that. Assalamu alaikum. Guidance. Gone.